This week, Bunyore Girls and St. Anna's go head to head. Sharp minds, bold arguments, unmatched energy. Every word hits, every pose counts, every argument defines the moment. This isn't just debate, it's power, purpose, and precision on display. The stage is set, the clash begins, only brilliance will prevail. Bunyore Girls. From the quiet green hills of Vihiga rises a team defined by focus, discipline, and brilliance. A school where excellence isn't a goal, it's a culture, where every argument is sharpened like a blade, and every speaker steps forward with confidence, grace, and intellect. They've walked through rounds that tested not just their reasoning, but their resilience. Every motion, an opportunity to define their craft. Every rebuttal, a statement of strength. They think fast, speak firm, and stand tall. They don't just debate, they lead the conversation. This is Bunyore Girls, calm under pressure, sharp in thought, and unstoppable in purpose. St. Anna's, from the vibrant heart of Nairobi, steps in a team that thrives on confidence, precision, and flair. St. Anna's High School. Every motion is their canvas, and every argument a masterstroke of intellect and creativity. They speak with rhythm, reason, and resolve, turning logic into art and debate into dominance. Their voices carry power, their minds strategy, every point delivered with poise and conviction. Round after round, they've proven that courage isn't loud. It's clear, calculated, and commanding. They challenge norms, dismantle weak arguments, and redefine what it means to take the floor. This is St. Anna's, bold, articulate, and fearless in the pursuit of excellence.
Most financial literacy programs start with the basics because green finance is complex. It is not something that you just understand. It requires a strong foundation in money management first.
Young people often graduate without an understanding of how financial systems can be used to support climate action or how to assess investments in sustainable business.
In Kisumu today, many young and women who were previously preoccupied with using traditional nets for fishing have been trained and equipped to use solar power technology in fish farms. Isn't that progress?
The interest of young people on climate finance dropped from a staggering 78% to 18% between 2021 to 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here at the Debate Circle. My name is Wayne Das and I am going to be your host for this round. Moving on with our junior knockout round, the motion of dissection for this round reads: existing financial literacy programs fail to educate young people in climate finance, leaving them unaware of green investment opportunities and sustainable financial practices. Proposing the motion, we have Bunyore Girls High School, and opposing the motion, we have St. Anna's Girls High School. Best of luck to the teams on stage. First speaker team proposition, you have 3 minutes.
I am a lover, not a fighter. I stand here today not in anger, but in love. Love for this earth, for its people, for every child who will live longer with the consequences than we ever will. Danielita Sabina from the Bunyore Girls High School, proposing the motion that states, existing financial literacy programs fail to educate young people on climate finance, leaving them unaware of green investment opportunities and sustainable financial practices. Financial literacy programs, these are the current structured initiatives designed to teach basic financial skills like budgeting, saving, investing, credit management, and financial practices. Climate finance is the flow of money in reduction of carbon emissions and having an environment which is friendly. Green investment opportunities, these are investments in environmentally friendly ventures such as sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, or green technology. Sustainable financial practices, these are financial behaviors that consider long-term environmental, social, and governance factors. Financial literacy program teach young people how to budget for food, buy airline stocks, and save for retirement, but not a word on rising sea levels or green investments, because apparently planning for their future doesn't include planning for the planets. Many traditional financial literacy programs in schools focus solely on budgeting, investing, and saving in conventional markets such as meme stocks and bonds, but they fail to introduce sustainable or green finance concepts such as environmental, social, and governance investing, green bonds, or impact investing. We have financial literacy programs such as Jumpstart Coalition or Next Gen Personal Finance, which teach youth basic financial principles, and they fail to teach climate finance. Hence, they are not exposed to how these principles intersect with environmental sustainability. In the US, a survey by the National Endowment for Financial Education found out that only 23% of high school seniors demonstrated basic financial literacy, but none of them were taught about sustainable or green investment opportunities. A Native American proverb says that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Yet, honestly, we do not teach these children how to save it, or at least invest in the earth, invest in how to protect it in climate change and stuff like that. Young people often graduate without an understanding of how financial systems can be used to support climate action, or how to assess investments in sustainable business. As a result, they miss out on potentially lucrative green investments that align with both their financial and ethical goals. Thank you.
The proposition paints a picture of a financial education system that is failing, a broken down relic. We, however, see it differently. We, Team Opposition, see it as a sturdy, reliable foundation. You don't build a skyscraper starting with a rooftop garden, do you? You start with a strong foundation. A foundation is the most essential part of any building that will withstand the test of time. And that foundation is exactly what our financial literacy programs offer. They teach the youth the bedrock principles of personal finance. They teach them the basics. They teach them how to save, how to avoid crippling debt, how to build credit. These are not outdated skills. They are timeless. They are the beginning. They are the backbone of anything climate finance, anything personal finance. The rooftop garden, the rooftop garden is a specialized knowledge, in this case, of climate finance. We believe it can and should come later, after the basic skills. We, Team Opposition, would like to therefore paint a more accurate picture, a picture that shows that real, lasting progress is in fact being made. My name is Chelsea Njeri from the St. Hannah's Girls High School, standing here to firmly oppose the motion. Existing financial literacy programs fail to educate young people on climate finances, leaving them unaware of green investment opportunities and sustainable financial practices. We, as Team Opposition, agree with the definition of terms offered by Team Proposition, opting only to redefine two terms. One, financial literacy programs. These are organized efforts like workshops, school lessons, apps, or campaigns that aim to teach people, especially the youth, how to manage funds. So, when we talk about financial literacy programs, it extends far beyond the classroom. It extends far beyond the confines of a traditional classroom, right? We go into also online platforms. Two, I would also like to define the term failure. To fail is to not do something one should have done or was expected to do. Due to their failure of definition, we are forced to understand that when Proposition argues that financial literacy programs are failing, they argue that these programs aren't doing what they're supposed to do. My question is Team Proposition trying to argue that? Is it trying to imply that these financial literacy programs are doing nothing at all? Before I begin, I would like to outline our argument as Team Opposition. One, we talk about financial literacy programs evolving to include sustainable businesses. Two, youth are accessing climate finance knowledge through non-traditional and innovative channels. Three, labeling progress as failure undermines real ongoing progress. With that, I move on to my first point. Climate finance is an advanced topic. Let's be honest. Most financial literacy programs start with the basics because green finance is complex. It is not something that you just understand. It requires a strong foundation in money management first. This foundation, again, is what financial literacy programs offer. You can't exactly teach quantum physics to a kindergartner, can you? Concepts like carbon credits and green bonds require prior understanding in risk, investment, savings, and economic planning. Even the World Bank and the African Development Bank recommend a stage approach to teach basic finance first, then green finance second. Evidence of this progress that is being made is seen in the Absa Bank, Kenya's ready-to-work mentorship and training, which has impacted over 20,000 youth, empowering them with skills they need in green finance. With that, I leave the bulk of our argument to my team, hoping that our esteemed judges and fellow debaters keep in mind that you don't teach algebra before arithmetics. That's my time. Thank you.
Let me begin with a confession. I am a lover, not a fighter. I do not stand here today because I hate the existing financial literacy programs. In fact, I love them too much to let them stay this outdated. And I love young people too much to pretend that ignorance is bliss when it's actually extinction. We cannot let them walk into the storm of the future with umbrellas made in 1985. Now, she said something about online platforms. Yes, because nothing says equity like assuming every student in rural Malawi has a smartphone, data, and free time to scroll through carbon offset options before fetching water and dodging load sheddings. Now, she also stated that the financial literacy programs are teaching the basics. Why teach the basics in a failing world? Why teach these people how to invest and you're not telling them that in the future we might not have a planet? Because as we can see, Africa and the world at large is experiencing climate change. Now, we can still teach investment and teach sustainability. Now, you mean to say that the same students who are expected to learn calculus, code in Python, can't grasp what a green bond is? We are underestimating these young people. These people can bring the difference. Now, you can also say that they're embedded elsewhere. Now, that's like saying CPR is covered because students learn biology. Knowing where the heart is doesn't mean you can restart it. Most environmental curricula focus on science, not climate solutions. Economics covers markets, not mission-driven investing. Climate finance fails between discipline, and so it falls through the cracks. It needs its own seat, its own table, not in a corner in someone else's slide dock. Now, I would also like to state that according to statistics according to a research done by UNED, Inquiry in Sustainable Finance and the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, it indicates that the lack of climate finance education in standard financial literacy program plays a big part in youth unpreparedness for sustainable development. Now, according to a survey led in Stanford University, the interest of young people on climate finance dropped from a staggering 78% to 18% between 2021 to 2024. Now, what do we call this? It's an awareness dressed in a suit and a tie. These people are teaching us budgeting, saving, compound interest, maybe how to avoid debt. But where are the lessons on carbon credits, ESG funds, or maybe how to invest without touching the planet? Yes, it is nice you're teaching us budgeting and saving. Great, thanks. Even if young people are environmentally conscious, they often don't know how to translate this into their financial decisions. If we don't teach it, they don't know it. Thank you. Makena Achuka from the Bunyore Girls High School.
We recognize that the existing literacy programs and they're evolving. Climate finance is also growing, and the situation is not a failure as the proposition side would want us to picture it. That will be our focus throughout our presentation. My name is Lisa Remtula from St. Ines Girls High School. On to my first point, financial literacy programs are evolving to include climate education. Let us not yearn for perfection and ignore the little progress that is being made by financial literacy programs. An evidence to support my claim is the Ajira digital platform in Kenya that has been training the youth on freelancing with climate-conscious practices. The impact of this is that young people have actively been able to run eco-smart businesses and become climate-savvy entrepreneurs. An illustration to support the evidence is that in Kisumu today, many young and women who were previously preoccupied with using traditional nets for fishing have been trained and equipped to use solar power technology in fish farms. Isn't that progress? On to my second point, youth are gaining climate finance knowledge beyond the class. If you're looking to only see a teacher walk into class and teach a topic called climate finance, then your mentality is a problem. Education has evolved. It goes beyond the class. It goes beyond the four walls. The youth are not blind to climate finance. They're learning everywhere and anywhere through local NGOs, even common platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and even digital courses online. And evidence to support my claim is the Yoma platform by UNICEF in partnership with Smart Africa that has trained over 3,000 youth, I repeat, over 3,000 youth by using short gamified courses on climate action and finance. The impact of this has been a UNEP report conducted in 2023 found that there has been a 40% increase in green youth startup. 40% is not just a number, especially when the proposition side is arguing that financial literacy programs are not doing anything, failed. The keyword is failed in the motion. Imagine a world where education is combined with your favorite song, with some captions of your favorite hashtag, with a not so boring teacher who probably relates to you. Now stop imagining. We're living that life. Open your eyes, take your phone, go to a page, search how to turn recycled plastic into sellable products. Thank me later. On to my third point. Youth are creating climate finance literacy on their own. The youth are more engaged and aware than assumed. We tend to assume that the youth they do not know the green investment opportunities that are there. But the truth is that the youth are creating and sharing their content on climate finance. And evidence to support this claim is TikTok and Instagram page such as the Green Youth Kenya that teaches on sustainable finance, eco-business tip, and green grants. The system is catching up slowly. We do not deny that, but the youth are driving the knowledge revolution themselves, which is positive. Financial literacy programs are laying the foundation. It is up to individuals and the youth to build on it by making climate-conscious choices. Thank you.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. From the oceans to the thick green forests, to the very dry land we step on, our planet echoes love. It is evident that there are several ways in which love can be portrayed. My personal favorite simply has to be poetry. Roses are red, violets are blue. Financial literacy programs fail to educate, so team opposition doesn't have a clue. As a lover, I hold no grudge towards these financial literacy programs, but I'm dismayed by their ignorance towards climate finance. I mean, take UNICEF, for example. Their Finance the Future feasibility study found a systematic barrier in that young people from the ages of 18 to 30 were largely excluded from early stages of financial literacy. If this isn't proof enough for you, take it from Youth Adapt's $1 billion bank finance development bank. Despite youth-led innovations, only 1% of global GDP was literally given to the youths, leading to 21% of the required investments. Is 21% really what you're going for? Settling for less is not something I'm going to stand for, actually. It is high time these systems learned they should be updated. Fail is a rather harsh word, and I wouldn't like to tell you that you're losing into it. You're just not up to standard. Pointing fingers is not something I'm used to. When you say that Ajira is doing what they're supposed to do, I mean, we've all heard of unicorns. Have you seen one? Personally, I haven't. You should just learn to move into a new level. Update your systems. The youth are crying, losing their jobs, not having money. Yet we all have trees around us. We could be investing in them, making money out of them, making a brighter future for ourselves through the things that God has given us. Take it for a survey done in 2021 by Green Money Journal revealed that 20% of US high schoolers had ever heard of ESG, that is environmental, social, and governance investing. If only 20% know about it, what percentage actually knows how to use it? Just see into the light. Don't stand for less. It's high time you upgrade your system. Since 1995, you have been walking in the same darkness. Someone give me a torch, for crying out loud. It's high time you see what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Team opposition. Take it into accord. Learn. Update yourself and move on. Shanice Yvette, Bunyore Girls High School, yearning for a new day when financial literacy programs will learn how to improve the youth and in doing so, improve themselves. Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, panel, team proposition, team opposition. Today is a beautiful day, a day where we will learn. Today's motion is existing financial literacy programs fail to educate young people on climate finance, leaving them aware of green investment opportunities and sustainable financial practices. I want you to understand this. Team Proposition's claim is that they are failing. What are they doing? They are failing to see the progress that is being made. All claims they are making, why can't you see the progress that is being made? Let me begin. First speaker came and gave us a proper definition of the term financial literacy programs, saying that these programs offers education on budgeting, saving, and insurance. True? Very much so. She also came and stated that they fail. And by claiming that they fail, where else do we get the knowledge? You keep on pointing fingers, saying the financial literacy programs are failing. What alternatives are you giving us? You're giving us a problem without a single solution. You also said that your second speaker came and asked us, why teach the basics? Why not teach the basics? You get? Because as my first speaker came and asked you, why teach a child quantum physics before basic arithmetic? Why not give them the basics? She also told us that most of these climate finance features like green investments need the basics. They need the know-how on how to save, on how to budget, on how to insure their money. So I don't see why you're overlooking the progress being made by this financial institution so far. Your second speaker, came and posed for us a question, why are we running on the assumption that everyone can access social media? Aren't there other alternatives? When you're walking in the market, you'll find some people, some NGOs organizing for these rallies. Even the government itself organizes for these rallies. So you see, there's so many alternatives, but these financial literacy programs are offering these alternatives. You are completely missing the point in this debate. As team proposition, you are arguing that they are failing. We are saying that they have not failed. And my second speaker came and gave us very many good examples of how these financial literacy programs are imparting this basic knowledge to the youth. She talked about educational programs, whereby we have some of these financial literacy programs partnering with governments and all that stuff. Is CBC not a thing? Am I not living in Kenya in 2025? Aren't CBC being taught the small steps? Because it's always a journey of 1,000,000 miles. How does it begin? Does it begin with 1,000 steps? No, it begins with a single step. And that's something I want team proposition to understand. She also talked about mentorship and networking, whereby we are connecting the youth to professionals to learn about climate funding, initiatives that they are taking. Team proposition are completely failing to see this point. Moreover, I want you to understand
Team Opposition stand, we are saying that the existing financial literacy programs are adequately educating young people on climate finance, equipping them with the knowledge of green investment opportunities and sustainable financial practices.
That was indeed a powerful performance by our speakers on stage. The energy, the confidence, the articulation, all coming together in a battle of ideas. But before the results are announced, it's time for the judges' remarks. The judges begin by acknowledging the effort and composure from both sides. For the proposition, the team is commended for setting the tone, clearly defining terms, and demonstrating confidence right from the start. However, the judges note that there was some repetition at the beginning. Still, the engagement with the audience and overall delivery was praised. For the opposition, the judges highlight strong persuasion and practical examples, such as the case study on Azura, which stood out as both logical and relatable. Their points were well structured, making it easier for the panel to follow the flow of arguments. The final speaker, Victoria, sparked an important reflection. How do we balance financial education programs to ensure they remain practical and impactful? The judges observed that while free national finance programs aim to educate the youth, challenges persist, from inadequate information to a lack of real-world application. Yet, there is progress. Startups and organizations are beginning to form partnerships that strengthen financial literacy and access. The takeaway: financial education isn't just about knowledge, it's about action, collaboration, and long-term empowerment. It's about creating platforms that are practical, inclusive, and future-focused, where young people not only learn, but apply what they learn. As the judges concluded, this round reflected growth in reasoning, engagement, and purpose. A reminder that debates aren't just about winning an argument, they're about shaping ideas that build the next generation of thinkers and doers.
Thank you to our judges for those wonderful remarks. A round of applause for them, please. Now, the results for this knockout round have been tabled. And the panel has awarded Bunyore Girls a total of 63.8%. Applause for them, please. And St. Hannah's has been awarded 64.73%. By that count, that means that St. Hannah's are the victors of this debate. As we conclude another episode here at the Debate Circle, we urge you as our viewer to catch all our content across all our social media handles in Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, as well as X at the Debate Circle. I have been your host, Wayne Dacia. See you next time.